Paulie was watching the NASCAR awards ceremony. You got to get a life.
It was late night. It was on Fox. It was fun. He was laying into some people.
And then Paulie comes in next day. He goes, man, Jay Mohr was tearing it up. He got a shot there, Danica Patrick. And I said, all right, let me hear it. So here's how it sounded at the awards banquet.
Danica Patrick, yes. Round of applause for a history maker. Danica Patrick is here. Welcome, my love. Yes. Danica, I hope you're not too uncomfortable tonight. I know you're not used to being this close to the front. It's a comedy show. Jeez Louise.
That's a shot. Oh, come on. You got to laugh at that, right? Jay Mohr Sports airs daily 9 a.m. to noon Pacific, noon to 3 Eastern, right after us on Fox Sports Radio. Performing at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City, January 31st to February 1st, part of the Super Bowl week celebration. And Jay joins us now. What kind of look did you get from Danica there, Jay?
I got an icy, cold glare, Dan, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., her boyfriend, looked at me like he was going to come on stage and pull a Kanye. It was pretty amazing.
But don't you expect this? They should expect it, but were you surprised that they didn't expect it?
I was surprised that they kept doing cutaways of her not laughing, but, like, I had way worse jokes, meaner jokes to other drivers. Like I said, the valet just tweeted Dale Jr. said, take my car to Victory Lane, but his GPS can't find it.
Wow.
Like, there were a lot of jokes where I made fun of the drivers. Danica, I thought that was pretty, easy, in my opinion. I was surprised at the icy glare, but then I was surprised when I was giving her credit, saying she was a history maker, and she made history, and she's done more for women's athletics. Then they cut away to her, and she was still staring at me. But you know what? I should send her a fruit basket, because I'm a more famous comedian today than I was Thursday afternoon because of her staring at me like she hates me.
What's the reaction been?
The reaction's been great. And, NASCAR was thrilled with the night. It was a real successful night. And it was great. It's weird when you're trending on Twitter because of a joke. I thought I died when I looked at my Twitter feed and it said Jay Mohr. Chris Humphreys was ahead of me, so then I thought maybe he died. Neither one of us are dead. I still don't know why Chris Humphreys was trending. But it was a great night. And I took a lot of heat for going up, Dan, and in the middle of the show saying, I checked my Twitter timeline. A lot of people are saying it was an apology, but it wasn't. What it was is my Twitter timeline was filled with people calling her like the most awful word you could use for a woman, and my Twitter handle is attached to hers in the tweets, and I wanted to separate myself from it because it's a positive night. It's a corporate gig, and like I tell all young comics, anybody can get the gig, but can you get invited back? So that was just my way of letting NASCAR know I'm not down with what's going on Twitter with people calling her all those names. That's not cool.
I would think that Dale Jr., that's sort of off limits. He's NASCAR royalty, but did he have a good sense of humor about it?
Yeah, I was real lucky. A lot of the drivers went on Motorsports Radio and really gave me big compliments. Dale and I are friends. Jimmy and I are friends. Jeff Gordon took like 15 jokes. We just had a runner making fun of Jeff Gordon. I said to Jimmy Johnson, I said, I think I speak for all the drivers in the room. Why don't you take a year off or do like Jeff Gordon did, win 4 and then just quit? But it was good. And I got to say, my poll question of the day for you, Dan Patrick.
Yes, Jay.
What is a tougher audience, the NASCAR audience or you when Fritzy's doing fake headlines? I think you're a tough audience because every day when I'm driving in, I'm laughing at Fritzy's headlines, and I think you're really rough on the kid.
Okay. Len, let's have a little scientific experiment here. Bears headlines here, Fritzy. Give me your best 5 for Jay Mohr, and I'm gonna let you be the audience. I'm gonna close my mic, Jay, and then if you laugh, all right, we'll judge. All right, here we go. Fritzy, mock headlines from the Bears win over the Cowboys.
Can Josh play QB? That's a McCown question, bro.
I give that an A.
Thank you.
My God.
DeMarcus Ware? Can anybody find the Dallas defense?
Where? How are you spelling where?
W-H-E-R-E.
That's an A. That's a great one.
Skin and Jones, Jerry's team weak and fragile in Chicago.
Right there, A+. Jerry Jones, remember Waylon Flowers and Madam?
Yes.
Jerry Jones looks more and more like that puppet every day.
Man, you're an easy audience, Jay.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Well, they're funny. I mean, maybe it's because I can't come up with one.
Sometimes they're funny when they're not funny.
Yo, that's the best comedy, the Dada stuff that makes no sense. But DeMarcus Ware, Skin and Jones, you had me. You had me at Skin and Jones.
When you decided to do sports radio, and you
Yes, sir.
you go from acting. By the way, I love the stand-up. Your stand-up act that you had. What was that on Showtime here?
Yeah, funny
months?
for a girl.
Yeah,
on,
I thought
Showtime.
talking about your kids. I thought you really did a great job on that. But you go from that world where you can rehearse and you got everything together and it's packaged for the most part, and then you go into sports radio where it's 3 hours, where it's sort of flowing and open to interpretation. Which one's more challenging?
Sports radio is more challenging because you're under that corporate umbrella, and I've made a living crossing the line, and just not crossing the line and not getting fired is really the game for me every day. Going up against the line, looking at it, admiring it, and then just taking that step back. That's like the game. But, I saw your Esquire piece, Dan, and I thought it was great. And the thing that stuck out to me when you went home, and it really meant a lot to me. When you got home and you were sitting with your kids and your wife, and it was like a celebration. And that's what it is with Sports Talk Radio. I pick my kid up at preschool every day at 12:45. I'm home. I'm taking a nap at 1:15. This is the greatest gig I ever had in my life. Now, granted, it's radio money. Maybe we could do something about that. Maybe we can figure something out with the radio money. You put me up between you and Tony Dungy at that desk. But other than that, it's the best because it's fluid, it's live, it's every day, it's exciting. And if I wasn't doing Sports Talk Radio, sports is all I talk about anyway. So I let the listeners know early on January 2nd when I took over for Rome. Look, I'm a fan, and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm not a stat guy. Just call up and tell me I'm wrong. I'm not going to take you to task. If I say a guy's name wrong, call me and tell me. So I love it. It's the best job I've had ever because I'm not at Ghost Whisperer waiting 4 hours for somebody to put up a light.
Well, I think if you're honest, I always want to take the weapon out of your hands before you use it. So if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, and it's alive. It's live. You're going to make mistakes, and the more we laugh at ourselves, I think the more it resonates with the audience. I've found.
They used to say James Brown was the hardest working man in show business, but I'm watching the football game the other night, and I realized you're at a desk in Manhattan. That game's going late on the East Coast, and then you got to be up at like 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m. Up in Bristol. I think Dan Patrick might be the hardest working man in show business.
No, I got it made here. I do.
You got it made?
Yeah, I do.
Did Danettes hold it down in your absence?
Absolutely.
Fritzy, give me another headline.
You got one more for Jay Mohr? One more?
Right.
You see what I did with that?
I
Fritzy?
saw what you did.
Okay.
See, Dan, that wasn't that good. See how hard it is?
I know. More or less. Go.
Alshon, Jeffrey causes pain for Dallas D.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. F.
But you should. You know what? Right when you're done with the Dan Patrick Show, you got to start tweeting Jay Mohr Sports, and we get you in the Twitter Hat Trick Club, my brother.
No.
I love it.
I mean, I don't know if Dan's up for cross-pollinating, but
I'm all right with that. All right. I'm all right with that.
And Dan, by the way, that was really cool of you to play clips of, or just say what you said about my stand-up special. I remember when it happened, and I was really fired up about it because I do listen to you every day, and
Thank you.
You're the Godfather. I sing your praises often on my show.
I appreciate that. I do still miss the role you had in Jerry Maguire. He was legendary bad guy, and then I wondered, is that who Jay Mohr really is?
Yes, I'm the next Rutger Hauer. It's amazing. It's people will come up to me at live shows. All my stand-up shows are meet and greets, and they'll be like, "I still hate you for what you did to Jerry Maguire." I'm like, "That's a fictional character 18 years ago. Turn the page."
Did you have a shot at Renee Zellweger back then?
I believe she was with Jim Carrey. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but is that a yes?
Man, I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Okay, were you married at the time?
Yes, but not happily. That didn't get my way then.
Oh.
The first one's the dress rehearsal.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, she's entitled. Her name is Plaintiff. Is what her name is.
Oh, you're not lying. California has a new millionaire. She earned every penny of it. She gets all my residuals too, and she works so hard in those movies, Dan.
All right, give me just a little Christopher Walken before we say goodbye.
Yeah, you're listening to the Dan Patrick Show. It's a good show, but you got to pay special attention to the Dannettes. They are the glue that holds it together. And if you don't mind, Dan, I'd like to hand the microphone to my good friend Eddie Vedder. If that's okay with you.
Yes.
Oh, am I on? Are we on the air right now? Dan Patrick is a great American, and I appreciate the Danettes and Fritzy and Paulie Peps and all that they do. And don't forget when you hand in your Heisman ballot to sing "Like a Bridge Over Troubled Water." This is, of course, this is daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Vetter. Oh, by the way, 1997, you were with Jennifer Aniston in a movie.
Yes, sir.
Did you make a run at that?
I did not, because Tate Donovan, her boyfriend at the time, was mad. Here's a little showbiz inside. He was mad he didn't get the part, and he sat in the director's chair the entire filming, staring daggers at me, wanting to punch my face in. But, I'm ready to go. I was ready to go at any time. But, there's bigger fish to fry. You're on the island of Manhattan. There's 9 million people. I'm not just going to focus my sights on the one chick,
Are you going to the Super Bowl?
I will be there the week of, and then I will fly home the morning of the Super Bowl and watch from my climate-controlled home.
How about you stop by the set when you're there, all right?
Brother, I'm telling you, we're going to dominate Radio Row, Dan Patrick Show and Jay Mohr Sports back to back, and we'll make everybody else feel inferior, and we can watch Mike Francesa fall asleep.
Thank you, Jay.
I appreciate it very much.
Right. That's Jay Mohr Sports.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.